Good afternoon, guys, and welcome. Today we're leaving Kungsholmen. We're gonna explore the city center of Stockholm city. It's pretty close. We just have to cross the water right here. This is Mälaren, as you can see. Now it's actually ice here. So just a few days this was all water. So now when it's below zero, it takes a few days and it will all be covered with ice like this. Anyway, just for reference points, we have the Stockholm City Hall over here. And Kungsholmen is this island, as you can see right here. So we are heading this direction today. It's just probably 2-minute walk crossing the bridge here and we'll be there. Stockholm city center is, the city center is probably different to everyone staying around this area. You can find everything that you need on all the islands. As you know, Stockholm is an archipelago. So if you're staying on Kungsholmen or Södermalm, you don't really have to leave the island if you don't want to. But this is probably known to be the most central part. Just gonna show you, but Stockholm traffic is a mess. Not compared to Africa or places in India, but during usually weekends and when people quit their jobs around, let's say 3-4 in the afternoons, this is what it looks like all over Stockholm. So if you're crossing the city, let's say if you work on the southern parts, living on the north side, or if you vice versa, you have to spend a lot of time in traffic every day crossing with your car. It's even a lot better to use the public transportation over here. Alright, so the first place that we'll see if we enter the city center from this direction is this place. And this place is the most famous casino in Stockholm city. And if you want to break the bank, well, then this is the place for you. Just for some information, but the reason why there are no rickshaws or any boda-bodas in Scandinavia is usually because of the weather. To drive around on a boda-boda in this weather will freeze your balls off. But probably the main reason why people usually walk or use public transportation is the prices. Grabbing a taxi here, just sitting in it, probably costs you 10 US, and then you pay per kilometer. So it doesn't really matter where you're going, you're probably gonna end up paying at least 25 US. And if you're gonna use the metro, you're paying around 3, something like that. And it's just as convenient, if not even more. Check this out. If you're gonna use a taxi like this one, for example, you will end up in the traffic. So if you want to cross the city center, I would recommend everyone to walk or to use a public transportation for sure. As you can see right behind me, the square over here is probably the most central point in all of Stockholm, and it's called Sergels Torg. And people commonly use a word called plattan. It's kind of a slang word for, I don't really know, but it's a lot of drug trade and stuff going on here in general. But as you can see, there is a white and black pattern all over plattan, as we call it. And as you can see over here, there is some kind of demonstration. And on this spot in Stockholm, it's very common during all year around, doesn't matter if it's summer or winter. If you want to express your values or kind of your standpoint in certain, questions, this is where they express them. So it's always police around to kind of check that everything is going according to Swedish law. But as you can see underneath here, there is kind of a shopping mall. And you can enter actually a big shopping mall on the other side behind the demonstration over there. And during Christmas time, of course, they have the Christmas lights. In the background you see some kind of red, I don't really know what it is, but it is a fountain there actually during summertime. In Sweden, depending on how much money you want to spend, this place right behind me, as you can see here, is probably one of the most exclusive shopping malls that we have, and this one is present here in Stockholm and also in Gothenburg actually. So as you can see, this one, I don't really know if you can see the twisting sign on the top, but it says also here, it says NK, which means the Nordic company. And if you walk in there, you will find every designer brand that you can think of, I guess. Everything from, cheaper options over here, which maybe is Gant, and all the way up to Gucci and Louis Vuitton, or whatever you're into. But if you want to break the bank, that's probably the place to go anyway. But it's beautiful in there, I have to say. So even if you're not gonna buy anything, you have to see it from the inside. And it's very different compared to the modern ones. So it's also kind of a nice experience. So, but let's continue. Alright, so we ended up in a place called Kungsträdgården, which summertime it's one of the most beautiful parks in Stockholm actually. And as you can see, this alleyway right here is these trees all along here is those Japanese ones with the pink flowers. So you have one kind of walkway on this side and you have one on the other one. And both are equally beautiful, I have to say. So if you're in Stockholm during winter time and never tried ice skating before, they have that option for you here actually, right in the city center. And it's located in Kungsträdgården. And it looks like this. So this is a place here with the statue in the middle. And this place all here is covered in ice. So how it works is that you'll pay a fee and they borrow you a pair of ice skaters. And then you get a certain amount of time until you have to give them back and give them to the next one in line. So it's a must try when you're around. Right behind me is the oldest passage or shopping mall actually in all of Stockholm. And it's kept intact actually. So this, as you can see here, is exactly how it looked back in the I think it was finished 1897, I believe. So I thought we were gonna actually pass through this one. Today it's not as much of a shopping kind of mall as it was back in the days. It's a few restaurants there and also a few places for shopping, of course. But I thought we would check it out, so let's go. So here you can see the name Birger Jarlspassagen. And it's located on Smålandsgatan 10, I believe. And here we have a Japanese place. So if you want miso soup or something, this is the place for you. This one I don't really know, but you can see already here the wooden carvings on the walls. And wow, check it out. The walls are even the same as it was back in the days. And in here they continue the place. So as you can see all over here, it looks very similar. And they tried to keep this as intact as it was 125 years ago actually. So it's super nice to just have a dinner here, I have to say. But check this out, over here you have a bar, it looks like. And here is a restaurant on this side. And here during daytime there is a cafe. And I think there is actually a shop for kids and stuff on the other side. But I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. So these things are the same as it was from back in the days. So they have tried to keep everything intact, even the roof. And I guess all the lighting here is kind of similar as it was back in the days. It's a very beautiful place. It's not a big place or anything, but it's kind of a time capsule. Looks very 130 years ago, I have to say. But check it out. Looks kind of empty now. I mean, it's evening time, so these shops are probably more open during daytime. But it looks very beautiful, you can see. And the walls and the ceiling continue. Yeah, it's a very cool place. It's a must visit when you're around. But let's continue. Alright, so now we're entering a street called Birger Jarlsgatan. And here you will find all the fancy brands that you can imagine. And right in front of me you have the first one. And this one is Gucci. And along this street, which will take you to probably one of the top third most famous areas in all of Stockholm, called Stureplan. It's probably most famous for a party, I have to say. But on this street you have Gucci, you'll find Tiffany and Co, and you'll find probably anything that will cost you a lot. So if you're here for shopping for more high-end brands, this street is for sure for you. There is of course also on this side you'll find more of residential areas, and on the other side it's more of shopping towards the city center. But it's a beautiful street. Here we have the Louis Vuitton shop over here, and here you have the Chanel one. Cartier is over here. Just if you're not gonna shop anything here either, I mean, it's worth a visit for sure. Or if you're in town and just gonna take a drink or something, or wanna go out clubbing like Friday or Saturday, if you walk these streets, I don't know, it's 2-3 minutes more, you will find you kind of the most common or well-known party area in all of Stockholm. Alright, so we ended up at Stureplan, which together with Sergels Torg probably is the most famous meeting points or squares in all of Stockholm city. It's not, I mean, it's not a very beautiful place, I have to say, but this thing here, whatever it is, it's called the Mushroom. And if you're meeting up friends, family in Stockholm city center, that's a very common spot to meet up. Everyone knows that place. And right here is kind of, I don't know, if you're going out having dinner, some drinks. This street over here was the one with all the fancy brands, the Gucci and Louis Vuitton and stuff. This area on this side is more of a shopping area. If you're walking the other direction, it's more of a residential place. So Norrmalm, which is probably one of the more fancy neighborhoods to live in, which is this direction, there are actually no nightclubs or nightlife over there. So it's very central, but it's very calm and quiet during evening and night times. So it's a very nice area to stay. But I think that's enough for today. So if you like the video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao!